When I'm a road runner, honey. Can't keep up with me. You got a green light, baby. Maybe you will see.
Green light it is. All right, welcome to the show, folks. That's right, you are listening to the American Adversaries. It is drive time on AM 660, The Answer. And once again, we are coming to you live from the Mercury Free Broadcasting Studios. That's right. For the very best in mercury-free dental care, call my dentist, Dr. James E. Hardy, at 407-678-3399, and he will fix you right up. And yes, indeed, they do take insurance. Please don't forget to ask him about his great book, Mercury Free, and we're working to get him in here one Friday soon. I know we've had some people calling and asking and requesting him, and so we will get him on. That's how I met him. I actually heard him on the radio. All right, so welcome to the show. We got a big one lined up for you again tonight. I am Christopher Hart, joined in the studio tonight by David Leavitt of Refresh Computers and Libertarian Party candidate for the Florida State House, District 29.
Thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure.
All right.
Love being here.
Great to see you. Great to see you. We got a lot. Going to talk about a lot today. David's got a meeting coming up next week, a convention coming up this weekend, I think it is.
That's right. This weekend, the State Libertarian Party Convention.
All right.
We'll be Newport Richey.
Oh, we'll be talking about that and some other things too. You're welcome to join us at 407-774-8255. Lucas Paris is back in the studio with us tonight. Say hey there, Lucas.
Hey, people.
Wait a minute. We got to get that microphone. Try it again now.
Hey, am I coming through now?
You
am I good?
are.
Okay, all right. Periscope's here.
The Periscope is up and running, and those will be placed on YouTube during each segment. He'll place the previous segment's portion of the show on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube, dial in our channel, American Adversaries TV, right?
Yep. That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. That's right. You will see where we're at and what we're doing. And also, Nicholas Cicero is once again on the bridge, so we are in good hands with Nicholas Cicero tonight. Real quick, Nick, you going to be doing your show tomorrow night live?
Sure am.
All right, that's WDW News. You going to recount that 24-hour marathon thing you did just a week or so ago?
We'll be talking about that, Star Wars weekend, lots of news around Disney this week.
Talk about Jedi.
Yeah, Jedi. All right, sounds good. All right, so don't forget Nicholas Cicero tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on 1520. 1520 WBZW. All right. So welcome to the show. And once again, David, good to see you. First of all, I want to talk a little bit of computers with you, if you don't mind. Of course, David is owner of Refresh Computers. You can find their work at refreshcomputers.net. They have computers. They have a telecom service. By the way, I saw the Refresh Telecom truck going down the road today.
Well, that's the other side of the Refresh Computers van.
Oh, is it? Maybe that was you then going down the road.
Telecom on one side, computers on the other.
Gotcha. All right. But you also have other services, including an auction site.
Auction site, technologysurplusdepot.com.
With a lot of cool stuff on it.
Have you been out there? It's pretty neat stuff.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of stuff. There's hundreds of things out there at any one time.
Yeah, so you can go check all that out. You can find it at refreshcomputers.net. And, of course, every Tuesday, just yesterday, was Free Tune-Up Tuesday at Refresh Computers. What's the sign of a computer that needs a tune-up?
Slow, boggy, doesn't boot up as fast as it used to, like when it was brand new.
And you guys can refresh it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and another sign is if you've had it for a year or more.
Okay.
Typically,
yeah.
Typically by then it's bogging down because it has some programs that are running in the background that you might not be aware of.
Right.
You delete programs, you uninstall programs as time goes on.
Right.
And, it never really completely uninstalls programs. There's still some files that linger.
So that's all the stuff that you'll flush out of there.
We clean all that up.
Sounds like my computer.
Well, you know what you need to do next Tuesday.
Yeah,
then,
right? Yeah.
I'm telling you, if it's just running a little bit slow, bring it in on a Tuesday, and they'll freshen it up for you.
Yeah, it doesn't take a long time.
No, you do it while you wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's great service. And, of course, if you need a computer, a new one, they will set you up. You'll customize a computer for anybody.
Anybody, yeah. Oh, yeah. We build some really nice gaming systems. We have some, really intense gamers out there.
Right.
And so we'll custom make some computers for them.
And you got the basics for somebody who doesn't really know their way around a lot, like me.
Absolutely. Well, we have, name brand, Dell, HP, Lenovo, even Apple computers and laptops. And, the computers, if you just need the tower, if you just need to replace the tower, because a lot of times that's all you need. You don't need a monitor, keyboard, and mouse.
Right.
You can pick up a Dell or HP tower for about $140, $150 with Windows 7 installed.
$150 with Windows 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
my. That is the place to go for your computer needs. You need not think of anywhere else. And if anybody's talking about a system they need, send them to Refresh.
Oh, and Windows 10 is coming out. I probably should mention that because Microsoft has announced that a release date of Windows 10, but I'm embarrassed right now because I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
Probably this summer sometime.
Does anybody ever know what Windows is? I mean,
well, and people say Windows 10. What happened to Windows 9? Well, they bypassed it because that was going to be the bad one. Every other one is good.
Is that right? Is that so? They got a superstition going there?
I think so. I don't know, but they just forgot about 9 and went right to 10. But if you have Windows 7, a legitimate operating system with Windows 7 or Windows 8, it's a free upgrade to 10.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you'll be able to upgrade. But I do not recommend upgrading right away. Give it
let
about
them work out the kinks.
Give it about 3 to 6 months and then upgrade to 10.
Okay, that's
actually give it about 3 to 6 months and you may not even upgrade. I mean, let's just see how it works out because they haven't been the best in their operating system rollouts. As big a company as they are.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of the kind of, I guess, the advances at some point sort of hit a wall anyway.
It does, yeah.
It just pays to be fashionably late to certain software.
That's right. Speaking of Macs, I heard you mention Mac computers or Apple computers.
Yep.
Now, Macintosh was Apple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Originally?
Well, Apple owns the Macintosh brand.
Okay, the Apple Mac, the Mac Pros and all that stuff.
Yeah,
right.
And now we just call them Macs, but it's short for Macintosh.
Okay, because I saw in the paper, I think it was yesterday, where somebody had taken to a place, I guess maybe like you.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Oh, yeah, $200,000 Apple Lisa. Now,
what is an Apple Lisa?
Okay, a Lisa is the original Apple that was built in Steve Jobs' garage.
By their hand.
By their hand.
Yeah.
Yes. They built about 200 of them in his garage, and it was called the Apple. He sold them right out of his parents' house.
That's how he got started.
And so they're worth about $250,000 today if you have one in excellent condition. Which this one that was turned into an electronics recycling center in California was in excellent condition. Now,
Lord.
I will say, our parent company is A1 Assets Incorporated, and we have an electronics recycling division. So we get truckloads of stuff every day to a 25,000 square foot facility. And about 4 years ago, we got an Apple Lisa.
No kidding.
We did, except it was beat up and it was pretty much destroyed. It wasn't in the couple $100,000 range,
right.
but I think a collector ended up paying maybe 5 or 6. I mean, it was really destroyed.
Right.
But but we got a little bit of money out of that.
That's something.
But that was neat. Yeah, it was neat having an Apple Lisa.
And the twist of the story is somebody just dropped it off and didn't know what they were dropping off.
They didn't.
But the company the recycling company has offered $100,000 of that to the person, I guess, if they can come in and prove it was theirs. Right. Although I don't know how they would do that.
And good for them. Yeah, that's a really good gesture on their part because as a recycler, it costs a lot of money. I can say this because I know and I feel for them. And a lot of people are thinking, well, geez, really, they're going to keep that much money? Well, if you do a legitimate electronics recycling business like we do, and I think like they do, it's expensive. It's not easy.
It's a lot labor intensive, isn't it?
It is, and you want to provide a good service to the community at the same time.
Right. And
so when you come across something every once in a while that's remarketable,
right?
There's no better way to recycle it
sure.
than to remarket it.
Exactly.
And get a little bit of income while you're doing it. And that helps offset the cost of recycling and everything else for everybody.
Right.
And so, kudos for them to offer some money to whoever turned it in. And I'm sure, I hope by now they have figured out who owned it.
Yeah. They probably got a line out the door. Yeah, it was mine. It was mine. So hopefully they got a video camera or something so they can verify.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I thought that was very interesting. So Apple Lisa. Why'd they use? Why the name Lisa?
I have no idea.
Was that one of their old ex-girlfriends
Maybe,
or something like that?
Possibly. Because
it was Steve Jobs and Paul Allen, right?
That's right.
And I believe Paul Allen was more the actual screwdriver man.
He was more of the technician.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Steve was more the sales and software guy.
And software guy, right.
And the two together were obviously
in their garage, literally in their garage with their hands and their brains. And look at Apple today. It is the largest by capital valuation company in the world.
It's amazing because you take a company and like what they've been able to do, provide both the software and the hardware. And, you know, it took Microsoft up until just a few years ago to come out with the Surface, come up with the Surface tablet. It's actually a Microsoft branded piece of hardware.
Right.
So, you know, for Apple to have both the software and the hardware, you know, from the get-go, they get the control of the price. People wonder sometimes, geez, how come Apple's more expensive? Well, they don't really have any competition.
Yeah.
You know, there's no Apple clones.
All right. No Apple clones, but you do have the American Adversaries here. That's David Leavitt. When we come back, we're going to talk about his other role in life, which is as a Libertarian Party member and now candidate for the Florida House. So you don't want to go away. And if you have any questions for him, you can call us at 407-774-8255. Later on in the second hour of the show, we're going to be joined by retired Marine Colonel David Smith, who's on the other side of the world. And then later on, Scott Miller, My Liberty Threads, who's been traveling this country. So don't go away. We got a lot more to do. We'll be right back.